Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We're going to have a little update from the Ukrainian front. We're going to use a Russian map and a Ukrainian narrative. And bear with me, I will see if the Russians updated their thing. Yeah, their update is from yesterday, but the Ukrainians definitely updated their shit today, so on the 17th of January 2024. So let's start with the Ukrainians. Here we have it. So this article comes from Wednesday, the 17th of January 2024. Russians intensify attacks on Lyman and Avdiivka fronts, where Ukrainian defenders repel 63 attacks. So we're going to look at Lyman and Avdiivka fronts first. So here is the map of Ukraine and where the contact line is. Now we have obviously Lyman and Avdiivka, which are right here. Krasny Lyman is here, and Avdiivka, it's much south, right here. This is Avdiivka. This is where they intensify their attacks. I'm gonna zoom out on this area. Here is Lyman, Krasny Lyman. Here is Avdiivka. But this is not it. I should include also this that I covered in a previous video, that the Russian troops advanced near Kremina and Bakhmut as well. So Kremina is here, across from Krasny Lyman. Krasny Lyman, this is Kremina here. So they advance exactly here. And then Bakhmut is right here, or Artemovsk. So actually we have intensifying from here to here, this area. But in this article here with Bakhmut and Kremina, they also said that actually they go from Kupiansk, then they go to Kremina, then so Krasny Lyman, Kremina, then they go to Bakhmut, then they go to Avdiivka. So from both articles, it's from here, from Kupiansk right here to Avdiivka. So on the big scheme of things is the whole area from Kharkov, Luhansk and Donetsk, all this, the Fertile Crescent or something. So let's see what these guys are going to give us on each area an update. Russian occupiers have been attacking on 6 fronts in Ukraine's east and south, with most attacks being repelled on Lyman, Avdiivka, Bakhmut front, and a total of 98 combat clashes occurring over the day. Lyman, Avdiivka, Bakhmut. Lyman, Avdiivka, Bakhmut. So they say this area here. Don't say anything about Marinka, nothing about Kupiansk at this point. On the Lyman front, so they start right in Lyman, which is here. They don't talk about Kupiansk, which tells me things are shitty there. On the Lyman front, Ukraine's defense forces repelled 11 Russian attacks in Donetsk Oblast and 17 more attacks in Luhansk Oblast and to the north of Donetsk Oblast. On the Bakhmut front, so they moved a little bit south. So from Lyman, they moved to Bakhmut, which is Artemovsk right here. So from here, they went down here. And that's the way they're gonna go. So the Ukrainians usually start, but I don't know what happened with this one. They start actually from, not there, but we're gonna come back. They're gonna start from here, saying nothing happens south of Belarus. Then they want to start with Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkov right here. And then they're going to go like around here and they're going to end up with Kherson. But now they started right in the middle here. I don't know exactly why, but we'll figure it out. Maybe they return to the way they did it before. So on the Bakhmut front, Ukrainian forces repelled 9 Russian attacks in and around Ivanivske, Klinchivka and Avdiivka, Donetsk Oblast. So they jump from Bakhmut to Avdiivka. So they jump from Artemovsk, from here, straight to Avdiivka. So talk about this region between Artemovsk and Avdiivka. In the area of responsibility of the Tavria Operational Strategic Group on the Avdiivka front, Ukrainian defenders are continuing to deter the Russians who keep trying to encircle Avdiivka. I think it's all done, but anyway, within the past 24 hours, Ukraine's defense forces repelled 20 attacks and 15 more attacks near Provomyske and Nevelske, Donetsk Oblast. On the Marinka front, so they move south a little bit of Avdiivka. Avdiivka is this little thing here, and they move now to Marinka right here. If I use the Russians from yesterday, the date is 16th of January right here, they say battles continue to rage in the city. And in Marinka, Russian air defenses shot down several Ukrainian drones. Let's go to the Ukrainians. On the Marinka front, Ukrainian forces continued to deter the Russians in and around Krasnohorivka, Georgivka, Marinka, and Novomyakailivka, Donetsk Oblast, where 17 attacks were recorded. On the Zaporozhye front, that's where the counteroffensive occurred, the Ukrainian counteroffensive, which is right here. This is Zaporozhye Oblast, and they tried to break the front to reach Berdyansk and Melitopol, but it's all dead. Let's see what they say, the Ukrainians. On the Zaporozhye front, Ukraine's defense forces repelled a Russian attack to the west of Verbovye, Zaporozhye Oblast. Let's see if we have this one, Verbovye, right here. This is where Verbovye. Let's see what the Russians say happened yesterday. Russian forces hammered Ukrainian troops and military equipment with air and artillery strikes, plural. We go south to the Kherson front. Kherson is from Zaporozhye. We go right here. And this is the Crimean Peninsula. Okay, in the area of responsibility of the Odessa Operational Strategic Group on the Kherson front. So Odessa is a little bit west of Kherson, which is right here. This is Odessa. And this is Moldova, this is Romania, and this is Moldova by my geography and history. Oh, and Romania, obviously. Ukraine's defense forces are continuing to conduct measures to expand their established bridgehead. Within the past 24 hours, the Russians conducted 6 unsuccessful assault actions on the positions of the Ukrainian troops. So the Ukrainians claimed a while ago that they had a bridgehead right here, across from the Dnieper River, on the left bank, not across, but they say they landed in, well, right here by Krinky, by this little town. And they supposedly they landed somewhere in these swamps. And the Russians tried to push them away, but supposedly they're unsuccessful. I don't even think they're still over there. Maybe they just showed up, took some pictures, went back. So these guys have now blah, 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 blah. But what do I know? During the past day, Ukraine's Air Force struck an area where Russian manpower, weapons, and equipment were concentrated. Ukraine's air defense forces destroyed a Russian Kh-59 air-to-surface missile. Units from rocket forces and artillery hit a cluster of Russian military personnel, weapons and equipment, 2 command posts, and an ammunition storage point belonging to the Russians. And nothing compares to you, nothing about this area right here. They didn't say anything about Kupiansk. That tells me that the shit is bad over there. So let's see what the Russians report from yesterday. Battle Group Zapad successfully repelled 6 attacks by Ukrainian assault units of the 95th Airborne Assault Brigade with artillery shells. So the Ukrainians are trying to break through and push the Russians back. I'm surprised, very surprised, that the Ukrainians did not mention that kind of achievement. When you are on an offensive, it's a good thing. That means you still have, you're planning ahead and you have manpower and ammunitions and everything to do it. That's a, defensive operations are easier than the offensive ones. Like when you fight, when you try to attack, that means you expose yourself. That means you have, you feel that you have the power to cause harm. Now, if you think you are weaker, you just stay and wait. You counterattack. If you know you can fuck him up, you just go straight ahead. But the difference has to be great in order to do that. Because remember, the best fighters are counter fighters, not the attackers, the counter attack. Why? Because that's the way it is. I'm not going to go into that, but you know, when you attack, you display or you show your positions. When you just wait, nobody knows what you're doing. You can do anything you want, they don't know your counter. So if someone punches you, just counter. You don't have to block. I mean, there are levels. The first one is like block like this. Second one is block like this. Third one is just move. Fourth one is punch, counter. That's the maximum right there. When he punches, you just counter. You don't have to even block. That's the maximum that you have in a war. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.